How to get cigarette smell out of items. Hello, I've just moved from my ex's to my dad's, and everything I owned that was at my ex's house reeks of cigarettes. Is there an easy way to get the smell out of all my belongings? Even things like gaming controllers and other things that shouldn't absorb smell like smoke. I just can't stand it. Edit, please stop telling me to take up smoking. I am very appreciative of all the tips and advice. Airtight baggie, like a big gallon Ziploc bag. Put the item in there with a bunch of newspapers and leave it for a few days. The paper somehow absorbs all the smoke smell. My mom did this all the time when I was a kid whenever we got hand-me-downs from our family who smoked. Ozone generators work great. Might be impractical. The tar from lingering smoke sticks and is what causes the discoloration smell as far as I know. Cheap vodka is the best solution for removing smoke smell. You can put it in a spray bottle and wipe down everything. It's the only thing that'll work according to researchers for fabrics and whatnot. If you can close them up or put them in a bag with some cut-up apples for a few days, that'll remove any smell. Cheap and oh so effective. Odor ban gets the smells out. I use it in bathrooms, wipe down walls, and safe for those cars. No bombing needed, lol. Or you can try sprinkle baking soda on cloth-like materials. You can wash with baking soda in your laundry. This is why from a smoke-free home is a coveted remark among eBay items. Shit just stays forever. Get alcohol swab wipes and use them on all surfaces. Clothes, wash. For small items, put them in a container with activated charcoal. Vinegar steam. Wipe surfaces with a cloth dampened with rubbing alcohol. Zep Smoke Odor Eliminator Remover at Lowe's. Less than $10 per can. Had house fire, so I know ozone is great, but expensive. But if you live someplace very cold, bury items in snow for a couple weeks. Apparently snow contains a lot of ozone and removes the odor needed to use this method myself for items we could salvage. Ozium Ozone. I used Lysol on a guitar case recently that stunk terribly. I did not think it would work, it did. Your mileage may vary. Recently found Dawn Power Wash works well on the surface of items. Give them a wipe down first with it. I found out that ozone generators are not available to the general public in California because of the air quality standards. They cannot be rented or purchased. I finally ended up borrowing one from a friend who worked for a school district maintenance department. Need to wipe down everything you want cleaned, not a sub, but a decent wipe down. And finish off the smells with an ozone machine. Source? Me, a fire water damage restoration company owner. I used to smoke, but never inside. I can't smell the smell of stale cigarettes. A customer of mine gave me a PSVR and they smoked inside. The thing smelled so strong of cigs that it made me woozy before I even turned it on. If you don't have the money for the ozone thing, I've had a fair amount of luck wiping things down or spraying them with alcohol. I also usually add a couple drops of orange essential oil to the alcohol spray. It seems to help a bit more with that. I don't know if the citrus oil helps dissipate the smell or if it just covers it a bit, but I figure it doesn't hurt. If you can leave something in sunlight, that is supposed to be effective in neutralizing odors. Had a makeup bag a friend made that smelled like cigs to high heaven. I sprayed it with lavender hand sanitizer from Whole Foods every day for like 3 months and let it open air dry outside or in the bathroom with the fan on. It was fine after that. For fabric chairs, furniture, get a steam cleaner. For wood, honestly, either hire a professional or burn it all. Storing newspaper in the drawers for a while and swapping it out bird poo style may help, but I've got no idea otherwise. Ozone generator, there are cheap ones that work quite well. I've tried a white vinegar and baking soda soak before laundering old linens and blankets that have been packed away for a while. A lot of it is permeate. You can try to repaint the walls, new carpets, but most of it will be permeate. I despised an apartment unit I rented because some dumb aff would smoke in the unit above me. I had to toss out all the cloths I moved out with because they all reeked of smoke and people thought I smoked but I didn't. After cleaning as much as you can with vodka, rubbing alcohol, or vinegar and water, also try coffee grounds with the object in an airtight container. I had spilled gasoline in my trunk and the smell lasted for months and through numerous cleanings, but I finally put a pan of coffee grounds in there and the smell was gone overnight. Legit shocked me. Fabric softener dryer sheets. Use this trick to deodorize plastic model kits for resale from estate sales of dead smokers. Ozone treatment is quite effective. Ozone is a readily available product which may help. As far as the actual house, there is a certain wall primer you can buy at most outlet stores, that will mask the smell and smoke stain from the walls before a new paint. I got given some bedding from a smoking neighbor. After not being able to get rid of the smell from sheets just from washing them, I soaked them in water with vinegar and bicarb overnight and washed again. Worked pretty good. If the newspaper in a Ziploc bag doesn't work, I've never tried it, so don't know, try bicarb in the bag instead or as well. Ozone will kill any smell. If he has a yard, rig up a clothesline and let your clothes hang. Free breeze can help, but hanging outside in the sun will do the trick. For hard surfaces, use ammonia. It will cut the cigarette tar. Yes, it smells, but that will evaporate and go away. Also, hanging things outside helps. I use white vinegar to rinse clothes and that does a wonderful job. Repeat as needed. Well, for clothes, put them through the dryer with 2 or 3 dryer sheets in the same load. And don't stuff the dryer full. Disinfectants such as OxyClean in the wash or odor ban when sprayed get the bacteria that causes odor. Don't mix chemicals. Follow directions. Alcohol wipes or wet a cloth with alcohol for hard objects surfaces. I'd about fabrics, nothing I've done for similar issues seemed to work. But I have managed to get sig damage and lingering odor off of plastic things like your controller and walls with alcohol. Anything that can be hung outside on the clothesline, do that and leave it there for like a week. I read on Home Hacks that charcoal is a great odor remover. Put the items in a garbage bag with the charcoal, seal it and check it the next day. For clothes, leave them on a radiator overnight. Works amazingly well. I had to wash the fabric part of a stroller a few times. What eventually cleared out the stench was putting it in a bag with baking soda, similar to the newspaper suggestion. Once it sat for a day or 2, I threw it in the wash with some white vinegar. The vinegar cleared it right up. Clean the best you can, then you can bag and use ozone generator. Ammonia is great and cheap. Don't mix with bleach, you could die otherwise, although it's pretty gnarly smelling itself, but the smell dissipates pretty quickly and doesn't harm things. Great for washing most clothes and other items. Anything with greasy buildup, and works great for mopping kitchen floors. Ozone. Get an ozone generator and let that run for a couple of hours. Just make sure to air everything out later. Dryer sheets work great. I put an open box underneath the seat of a smelly truck I bought. The smell was god-awful and it took just a couple of days to absorb it all. Still smells good after 3 years. Ozone is the way. Just make sure there's no people, plants, or animals in the area. Knockout worked well for me. Google the directions. White vinegar added to your wash just like bleach and almost as much baking soda, along with some gain. Simple green. Yes, everything needs to air out outside for about a week. Geez, I know, but it works. Coffee beans. Put everything in a box or trash bag with a bunch of coffee beans. Let it sit for a day or 2. Coffee is remarkably good at absorbing and replacing odors. It's why those little shakers of coffee beans are used in fragrance departments.